Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel once again. And for today's video I'm going to share the second team that I'm going to use in Great League for season 14, and the Pokemon that I'm going to showcase is Jellicent. Because apart from Whimsicott, Jellicent have got a bit of better matchups now because it have got access to Serve. So that is the reason I wanted to showcase this Jellicent in the Great League. But it does not matter too much in the Great League because top 20-25 mons will be still dominating the Great League meta. But nevertheless, it does have better matchups in the upcoming cups that will be there in this season. So for this team, this is kind of a double water, double ghost, and double ice lineup, which have Walrein in the lead. And my safe swap over here is going to be Froslass, and the closure for me is going to be my Jellicent. So this is not a recommended team lineup because it does have really bad matchups and many Pokemons can core break it. But since it's very early in the ranks, I still want to try out this team for a bit of spice over here. And since I have already in the lead, I want to counter those fighters with my backline, which does really well against the fighters because of the double ghost typing. So without further more delay, let's quickly jump into the battles. And moving into the first battle, I pick up a lead against Ice Darmanitan. So it's as I've already mentioned, it's spice, so I have no idea what this Darmanitan have got access to. So quickly I'll be going for the resisted Icicle Sphere, which does draw out the first shield, and I will be going for the next Icicle Sphere, but nevertheless I did a CMP tie, so I have to shield this up because yeah, it was an overheat and it would have already nuke me out because our Darmanitan is highly attack weighted, to which I'll be now going for the next Icicle Sphere, which puts the Darmanitan in the perfect farm down range for me to get a really good farm down on it. To which now the next Pokemon that they comes up with is going to be a Latias, so which will not appreciate this back-to-back Icicle Spheres coming in. So this might draw out the second shield from my opponent's end, which it does, and now they does a good catch onto their Swampert onto this Icicle Sphere, but it will not actually appreciate the Icicle Spheres go through. To which now, after building up a bit of energy, so since I am having one shield advantage, so I'll be switching out into my Jellicent to catch the next move that ends up being a Sludge Wave. So since it is running Sludge Wave and Hydro Cannon, it cannot threat me with any move right now. So Hydro Cannon will not knock me out, neither do Sludge Wave will. So now I'll be letting this next move go through, and after building up a bit back-to-back serve, so I'll be going for the first serve, and actually they cannot charm me down from this kind of range as well. So I'll be reaching to the next Shadow Ball, which will just get the knockout for this Latias over here and get the win for the first battle. So it's spicy, really spicy. So GG's. Moving into the next battle, I pick up a lead against Jellicent, which is really tough because right now I don't have anything to threat other than the Earthquake, but they can go for back-to-back Shadow Balls or Surfs, which I do call perfectly the first Surf. So they went for a Surf, and I was actually counting this time, but next time I'll be going for my own Earthquake, which does land, and from this kind of range I thought of letting this next charge move go through, but I end up shielding it, which is not a great thing because now they can again reach to the next move as well, and I lose all this energy right now, and I call it to be a Surf once again, but it ends up being a Shadow Ball, which does knock me out, and this might be a turnaround in the game because from this kind of range I do come back with my Jellicent to get idle energy, a good farm, but they have got Noctowl in the back. So Noctowl is such a hard punish to Jellicent as well because Wing Attack does neutral, Sky Attack does neutral, and a Shadow Ball does super effective, but I have only Surf, which does not do too much damage to this Noctowl as well, and now they'll be going for the Shadow Ball obviously. To which now I have 2-to-1 shield scenario with my Froslass, which I don't think I can manage to get ahead on energy, but if I could manage to get the farm down with double shields, then I would have something to something to try for, but nevertheless I'll be going for the next avalanche that gets the first shield, and they will be now going for the shadow ball. So shadow ball might not get the knockout, but they went for a sky attack actually, and now they snipe me down with dragon breath from this, and I concede the match over here. Moving on to the next battle, I pick up a lead against Swampert. So this is really good. One earthquake does not knock me out, and I was counting correctly. They went for 8 mud shots, which is enough for an earthquake, but I call it. So it was going to be a hydro cannon, which now again they threw. So this is going to be one more hydro cannon of their own, because that does not knock me out, and I'll be going for back-to-back icicle sphere, which might get the knockout as well, but they shield the first time. So I'll be going for the next icicle sphere, which will be putting them really low if they don't want to shield, but they give up both the shields right now. So whatever they are having in the back is actually really weak to ice typings in the back. So I have my backup with Froslass, and they again come back with the raise steel. So they are not actually really weak to ice types, but I do have a neutral shadow ball to threat this resist steel as well. But since I'm having 2 shield advantage, I definitely will be shielding this next zap cannon, which will get shielded, and now I don't get the debuff, which is very fortunate for me. And now I will be going for the next shadow ball of my own. So this will not get the knockout, but I have to throw one more energy, like one more surf, to get the knockout, which I do because I don't want to shield up the next time as well. So I'll be going for the next surf, which does get the knockout, and I think they will be again coming back with their own Swampert. So Swampert does not threat me from this kind of range as well, because earthquake will hurt, but it will not one shot me, and I can again go for one surf. So this matchup is really better with Jellicent, because earlier I do have access to shadow ball, maybe ice beam or bubble beam. So this matchup, particularly on Jellicent against Swampert, is really better than before, because Surf does really add up on Swampert because how squishy it is. To which the final Pokemon is going to be revealed to be Alolan Ninetales, to which I call the first Weather Ball bait correctly. And this is going to be a definitely Weather Ball, but definitely will be a Weather Ball, but it ends up being a Psyshock, which I was kind of confused with, to which I'll be letting this next shield burn down, and I'll be going for the first Avalanche, and now the Shadow Ball, which will just get the knockout for the Alolan Ninetales, giving me the win for the third battle. So a really close battle, and GG's to my opponent. Well played. Moving on to the fourth battle, I pick up a lead against Ferrothorn. So Ferrothorn is a Pokemon that can actually core break my whole team, because it have access to Thunder, Bullet Seed and Power Whip. So Power Whip hits super effective to both my Walrein and Jellicent, and Thunder as well, and it does neutral damage to my Froslass. So I have to handle this somehow, to which now I went for the first Shadow Ball onto this Ferrothorn, and now I'll be going for the next neutral Avalanche onto this Talonflame over here. So Talonflame really does good against the Froslass, because now they have added energy, and after going for the next Incinerate, they have enough energy for a Brave Bird, which I call it, and I fail, and they ends up being a Brave Bird, which I surely will be getting the farm down with Incinerate. So that is the reason I come back with my own Jellicent right now. So Jellicent have a lot of work to do right over here, because I'll be going for the next Surf, which does get the first shield from my opponent's end, and I have to shield over here, because either Power Whip, War Thunder, anything will hurt me a lot, and the final Pokemon from their side is going to be the Pelipper of their own. So this is now kind of manageable, but I have to call the bait of Hurricane, to which now they let the next Shadow Ball go through, and if this is going to be a Weather Ball, and which I call it right now, it ends up being a Weather Ball, which is really good, and they cannot threat me right now. So they will be going for maybe back-to-back Weather Balls right now, which does, I do have to shield, but I do will be getting the farm down onto the Pelipper over here. So I'll be putting up my shield over here and I'll be going for the farm down. And since the Ferrothorn threw their energy onto me, so they are energy dry, and I'll be going for the first surf, which will definitely get the final shield from my opponent's end, and I don't want to take any risk for going another surf because I have enough energy for a Shadow Ball, which will be enough to get the knockout for this Ferrothorn, which thought I'll be getting cold broken with, but I do manage somehow. So this is to my opponent. Well played. Moving into the final battle of the video and the set, I pick up a lead against buffed Whimsicott, to which they switch out into their Ninetales, and I'll be going for the next Earthquake. So Earthquake from this kind of range will be getting the first shield from my opponent's end, and now I try to catch next move, which whatever it is, maybe a Dazzling Gleam or maybe a Weather Ball, which ends up being a Dazzling Gleam because Jellicent is quite bulky rather than Walrein. So to which now I'll be letting this charge move go through. This will be a Weather Ball definitely because they cannot go for back-to-back Dazzling Gleams, to which now I'll be going for the next Shadow Ball. So since it's a Shadow variant of Ninetales, so it will be getting the knockout with the Shadow Ball, and now again they comes back and reveal the final Pokemon as their Primeape. So Primeape does cold break my team as well because it does have got access to counter, cross chop, might be close combat, ice punch and night slash, so it does super effective. And now since they switch back into their own Whimsicott over here, I will be shielding up the first Moonblast, and I'll be going for back-to-back Icicle Spheres of my own. So Icicle Sphere will get the first shield from my the final shield from my opponent's end, and if they want to throw their energy, they have to shield, which they do right now, and I did a CMP tie. So I lose a CMP tie, which I am fine with because since all the shields are down, Froslass can really close this matchup super strongly because I'll be getting the farm down onto this Whimsicott, and I've got loaded energy for this Primeape that is coming in, which will be getting hit with the Shadow Ball, and it will be getting the knockout for this final battle here as well, giving me the win. So with this team, I ran it for only one set, which ends up being a 4-1, which is not really good in terms of pen and paper because the coverage for this team is not really good. But since it's really early in the season, I do want to run some spice as well. So if you're using this team, do let me know how it is working out for you. And that will be all for this video, and see you again in the next one. Till then, peace.